we need something more simple, and then we amplify and go to the advanced analytics solutions. It's similar here. Sandbox is a place where we are understand the partner, we are understanding the requirements that, in my experience, at least half of times is not correct, half of times is not complete. There are a bunch of things we need to show the clients will say, no, it's not that. But it was what they said to us. But it's not that, and that's okay. It's play the game.
Now, let me add it here, right? You are absolutely spot on that. You talk to them, then when you build it and you tell them this is what you want, I think 90% they say this is not what you want. This is not
Yeah.
what we asked, right? I think that is where this, I must say, this information product canvas, a guy from New Zealand has come up with. Information product canvas, yeah. So he has all these 12 areas where he talk to the customer, he understand questions, what they come up with the answers, what action they want to take. He creates a vision into a one pager. And that is where he understands what business want. Now, from this, whatever output you take, I map it with graph theory. Now, how graph theory comes, there's a modeling called at FCOIM. FCOIM, what it do? It understand business, what business want. It take out the entities and all those kind of stuff and create into a graph in shape of nodes and relationships and links. And if it is a name, then there'll be two attributes, first name, last name, or maybe, date of birth, all those kind of draw onto a graph and then shows to a business. I personally feel if our requirement gathering can be converted to a graph theory and we can take a sign up from a graph theory from business, I think we can cut down this problem statement a lot. Because what happening when you're a business, you are talking into your own lingo. I'm a vendor. I'm just doing project to just get it over, right? You are from banking sector. I have come from, for example, telco sector. You are saying something. I'm understanding something. Actually, 90% I don't understand what you're saying. I simply write into my specific documentation. I create some use cases and deliver. Actually, that's a gap we need to fill it up. I think then let's bring this third item as we mentioned in our agenda. Data communication and storytelling.
Yeah. I felt we were in that path already. I think I start to become other things than statistics or data scientist when I start to study data communication. I don't know if it's here. No, it's not. Okay, it's here. This was my first book in data communication, TED Talks, because from here I could I could understand, actually I could read that is not just about what we talk, it's about what they heard. And there are strategies to optimize that. You mentioned probably the most important one, with these mind maps, graphs, visualization. But one important thing is we need to co-create that, because if we show a graph that's already done, it's not the same, because it's like too complex. I will not see it. Let's have a meeting to, one way to see if how
Okay, let me
how
put
the
a question here.
stakeholder is follow us
Yeah,
is they want a meeting, because if
okay,
something.
let me add something here because when I proposed this to Shane in New Zealand that when you're creating this information product canvas, let's create graph in front of business onto a whiteboard. So his response was very fair. He says if you go into a diagramming, which is very interactive, then you will lose the amount of time and then you will lose the interest of the C level. So I'm all on it with him as well. But at the same time, I feel yes, within half an hour, you can give it to top management and extract the vision out of them, including questions, answers, actions, and value, all those kind of stuff. Then I think based on that half an hour session, we should have a second level of management or working level. We should have a workshop. Within that workshop, I think we should draw because nobody knows business better than business. That's a normally gap. If you are a business, let's say a marketing department, and I'm a vendor, and though I have an experience in marketing, but every organization have their own method of doing work. So I should be creating with you, not for you. The moment I create for you, a lot of people get offensive as well. Hey, it's my business. How the hell this guy is creating better than me? So they will end up the challenge. So what do you say about that? Creating this graph theory end of the day with business.
Yeah, for me, usually is first delivery something because depend a lot about what we are talking here. If I am talking about a consultants or intern department, I think we need to start delivering case, delivering things that make sense for that client. So if they want a generative AI, let's try to see how to add something from that technology for their reality. It's not the most important thing. No, it's not. But it's not about that. The metric here is confidence, is understanding about the client, the business, and okay, we deliver one small thing here, other there, and then we start to propose things that make sense considering the kind of problems the stakeholder actually have. Because we usually complain about that. I want a generative AI, and oh my God, we don't need that. But we do the same if you pay attention. We deliver solutions that for them is, oh my God, I don't need that. So it's a miscommunication from both parts. And I think we are more close to solve that because we can deliver small things that add value. And during this process, we understand better the problems and we can start to deliver different things from what is asked. Usually in parallel, we deliver what they ask. In parallel, something like, oh, I tried that one. I think makes sense for that problem you mentioned in some meeting. And okay, the first one is a bad idea, the second one also, but the third one, the client, oh no, okay, that makes sense. And then we start to improve the literacy of the client, the shelf of possibilities of how we can add value. At some point where we can actually change the things. So when we talk about this co-creation whiteboard things, I think there are two scenarios. One is inside the project where this visualization is crucial to give clarity of some details. For example, if I talk about the churn case, I will not try to explain that without a graph, without an image where, okay, we have the client, we have the one that will go out, the one that will stay with us, but we are trying to guess which one will stay. So I'm going to give images to represent what I'm talking because I am talking about complex things and our brain deal better with visual instructions than with oral ones. And so this is the use of, this is more about, I am the crazy of the books. I have a bunch of them. This It's like here, design as storytelling. It's like use images to help to build some kind of knowledge. And other thing is use images and graphs to present a new idea that cross more things that are more complex. For example, our data architecture. This is because I have a business stakeholder which has one problem, and I have this C level which has a bunch of one problems, plus the orchestration one. And this data architecture, for example, is something more related to this C-level discussion. And they don't have time or interest to build these small things. They want something more already done, you know? So for them, is less about the co-creation, is more about build something simpler that is well connected with their idea, and then add in this simple frame what I am trying to bring on to the table. I don't know if I am clear here, but
No, no, you're absolutely there because see that is where this graph theory comes, right? In this graph theory, once you have this graph, you have entities, we have relationships, right? And sometimes what happens, as you always say, is business do not know what they want. It's not true because business knows what they want. But the thing is, business do not know whatever wish list they have. Out of that wish list, which actual element can deliver the whole piece? Because business do their business day in and out. So once you create a graph, the beauty of graph theory is, for me, is you end up creating 10, 15 entities or concept and you link together. And then you say, hey, which one you think is more critical for you with
yeah,
respect to
yeah, that's
the value?
by far the best strategy. Like show the things, and that makes sense for you. Do you see that as complete
So
scenario?
pick and choose. Okay, you have all these. Okay, you have 10 wish lists. Can we deliver one, which is the most important for you, and use what do you call it? Agile data modeling, which is data vault, focal, or the other one is anchor. Either these or three modeling, pick up those and start creating entities and relationships and deliver two entities. Deliver one dashboard, good enough for business. That's what I think I'm going towards that side. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, make complete. When we were talking, I remember one part of the this TED Talk book that uh, tools to talk. There are five ways we can, five strategies, different strategies. And I'm gonna to mention two of them. One is description, how we can explain difficult things. And that's part of our problem, right? We are talking about difficult things. And the second here is persuasion, the how we can make other people change their minds. And I think in some level, we are always doing these two things together. We are not actually changed. Sometimes it's amplify the way they see the problem because they are seeing the problem from the business perspective only. And sometimes we are say, oh, hey, there is this point that is in the middle of you, your client, and your solution that is related to tech, and that can be a problem for you in that point, that could be better for you in that other point. So we need to all the time be thinking about how the stakeholders see the problem so we can connect our solution to their problem. That's I know it's not funny because sometimes we have to explain why replicability is important. What seems so basic. I mean, guys, replicability, why I am explain that for you at this point, but yeah, we need to explain. The same time, sometimes they need to explain to us how the investment is important. Once I was in a project and we were taking a decision that we would lose a lot of clients. And I was mad with that. How can we do that? It's not a good idea. And then my boss explained me that with that movement, we would have more money. Yes, we would lose clients, but we will have more money and ensure the forecast of the quarter, which was important to ensure our next round of investments. And yeah, make completely sense. It wasn't in my horizon at that moment. And that's the game. We have a bunch of things that are important, but the client don't understand. And the opposite also. And we cannot have 15 priorities all the time at the same time. We need to choose some, and that's the game. First sprint, which are our priority? Trust of the client, understand the problem, not have the bad practice. This is not a priority to start. Sometimes maybe could be, for example, if I am dealing with data from, I don't know, IoT, data at some problem where data is so important that without it, we don't even data that we cannot open in our computer, a really big data. Okay, I have some pillars of good practice that I need to ensure from day one because without that, I don't have the data. I cannot even open it. Or other case, we are dealing with sensitive data. If I am dealing, for example, a psychological environment, I need to have some governance and laws in my radar from the beginning. So this is important for the first round of discussion. So everything is context. For everything, we need to, okay, where I am now and what I need to do first. But in my experience, the trust of the client, the stakeholder, is usually one of the things that we need having the first sprints, the first deliveries.
Okay, so we have a time check of 10 minutes. So I will throw one last question to you. As this data product and small data products is here, how do we deal with data's product swamp of data products? Because there'll be so many data products. How we will manage this challenge that we have to decom something, we have to replace, maybe we end up creating 5 products in quarter 1, maybe in quarter 2 a technology comes which will allow us to merge 3 products into one product. So how do you see facing this kind of challenge?
I, I see is as a team. I don't believe that one person can solve. Even at the beginning, at some point, you mentioned the names of the things that change and the possibilities amplify. And in my experience, there are a small group of people that actually see and understand this whole scenario.
Hmm.
We are an area with this area, data analytics, artificial intelligence, is a multidisciplinary area, but it is built by specialist people. the area is multidisciplinary. The people don't. The people, they are specialists. So we need some generalists, like the T-shaped one, that one that understands the landscape, can have some idea about the landscape, but has some specialties to discuss some details more close. I think when we have a lot of products, we need someone that has this kind of job, this kind of job description. My job here is ensure the bunch of products are make sense together. Usually the government's team has this kind of job description, but I don't think it's enough because governments is not usual have people with a deep technical understanding to actually identify when we need to revisit some products and change some structural things, or even merge some products or separate others. So for me, the answer is I don't know, but we need a team. We need a team with different perspectives,
So
and we need a roadmap. We always need a roadmap, a backlog, and maintain this, what we want to do, what we can do. Okay, we will not prioritize. This is not a prioritization now, but we need have this list of things that make sense so we can always revisit it.
I think that is where this data practice management team is coming in. And that is where this CDO role, Chief Data Officer role, is becoming critical and critical. Last time, Chief Data Officer, these guys were looking into data quality, data governance, all those kind of technical stuff. That is the reason, one of the reason data chief data officer role is the most moving role. After, every 2 3 years, chief data officers of an organization changes. But now, as more and more data products keep coming, I think they have to upgrade themselves to look into the product expiry, why you need a product, can you merge the product, can you retire the product, keep quarterly, maybe re-evaluation of the product keeps coming. I think that was a great discussion, Natalia. And it was again pleasure talking to you. And we will meet again, maybe in a 6 months' time. I will block your time again. And I'm sure within 2 quarters, something amazing must have come. There will be
Yeah,
a
yeah,
topic to discuss. Right? Let's do
yeah,
that.
yeah, that's true. That's true. It's almost quarter big news. We have some big news in our area. That's true.
Again, thank you so much. Have a nice day. Rest of the day at your end.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.